You're listening to the Soju Sessions, episode 65 on the Soju Talk Nation podcast feed. I'm your host, Crispy, also known as Crispy Wonton, or simply just Anton. And on today's episode, we're at the final. Queendom 2, episode 10, the final with Reach. Yes, this is the last episode. This is the last of the series. This is the last of our series reviewing Queendom 2. A very emotional episode, a very emotional time recording this. It's been an incredible 10-week journey of following all of these amazing female musicians, groups, soloists in Hyolyn. And, a show like this did a really great job of showing the human side of the music industry, K-pop industry. It really gave us the things that were important to all of these people and the compassion and care that they had for each other. I think at the end of this entire series, what was my big takeaway was all of the relationships they built, between groups and what those relationships will mean for them moving forward. We did get to see the strength and the bonds of the people that they were around every single day, whether that was the members or just the recognition of all the staff. And I think that was kind of the most sincere message that I took away from this entire show. Yes, it's a competition. Yes, it's incredible stages, music, dancing, character work. But at the end of the day, there are real people behind making all of this work. And just want to give a big shout out and recognition to everyone who worked on the show, whether it was the specific groups and companies, staff, like Unsoa mentioned, with all the hair, makeup, costumes, managers that hung out with them for 24/7, as she mentioned, and the choreographers, all the dancers. Yeah, no, it's a complete human production with a lot of great human elements and a lot of real, genuine emotion. And I felt it all. I'm so happy to have gone on this journey to watch this show and be part of everything. So yeah, I'm channeling my inner Exy right now. I want to just cry and talk on this microphone, but I'm not going to. Just an incredibly great time, and hope you enjoy this super mega packed episode. We go 2 hours recapping the finale because there's a lot to talk about, a lot of stages, and a lot of people moments that Reach and I really, really connected with, and it was just incredibly meaningful. Yes, thank you for being here this entire time and going on this journey with us, and thank you for listening. It really means a lot that you hung out with us for 10 weeks on these amazing recaps. So yeah, let's get into it. Coming up, my chat with Reach on Queendom 2, episode 10, the final on the Soju Session. Joining Soju Sessions on the finale, the final of Queendom 2, to discuss episode 10, the one and only Reach. Welcome to the show, sir.
Finally, we're here. Reach back again.
Yeah, no, this is kind of a momentous moment. It's the end of this incredible show that we've invested so much of our time, our energy, our emotions, our intellect into for so long. Just kind of thinking over it for the past few days, it's gonna leave a void kind of in my life, kind of emotionally, spiritually, in a lot of ways, just because we did get to spend so much time with all of these amazing female artists. And
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do without being able to see them all together on a show every week moving forward. As goes life, things change and they move on and things end. Kind of indicative of like the end of the school year, but it's one of those emotional touch points where you have to enjoy the journey because things do come to an end eventually.
For sure.
This show was absolutely a journey. So the finale was a live broadcast. They did a lot of intro to the groups at the beginning. A lot of filler discussion. Shout out to the host Hyolyn and shoot, I always forget his name. What is the man's name?
Youngjin?
Youngjin.
Youngjin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a great job of just hosting it live, just keeping the show moving. The broadcast time or the show time was 3 hours. A little over 3 hours, like 3 hours and 3 minutes. Amazing, but at the same time, man, they really had to fill 3 hours here and there. So
Yeah.
good on them. Any quick overview thoughts you had about the start of the show before we get into the performances?
Well, they had like a 30-minute, like you said, filler live stuff they have to do. I guess Taeyeon in that leather dress is fire. I'll just like get that out of the way.
Yes, it's leather. It's like a pink beige. Right?
Yeah.
It's something else. She's incredible. She is 33, everyone. She looks stunning. Yeah, it was really cool just to see them all on stage and kind of get live reactions out of all the members.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a bit choreographed and a bit scripted in the sense of the members knew who was going to be asked the question, kind of at least a little bit ahead of the time. But they kept their responses pretty short and concise, and I think they did a nice job of keeping the show moving in that.
Yeah. And also, I think you're right on the order.
Thank
Spot
you,
on, sir.
Spotify and Mnet. Great collaboration on that playlist. It was totally not a spoiler for everyone. Although I think they did realize it and they didn't make that a point of emphasis for the story of the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, for the listeners, if you hear coughing, you boycott the vid. So I try to, turn my head as best as I could. But if it caught on, then my bad.
And no worries, man. Just feel better. We'll push through. We'll go through the struggle, just like every single group did.
We have to
in this
yes.
show. Yeah.
LOONA started with COVID. I'm gonna end it with one, I guess.
that is poetry if I've ever heard of it. Wow. Starting and ending the same. So the introduction showed the ups and downs of the show. So a lot of flashbacks, a lot of cuts to different moments, a lot of crying, a lot of Sola was on repeat crying. The pool party situation with Brave Girls was also a point of emphasis for a lot of the cutscenes. And then it was Yoo-jung with while she was eating, continuously asking if we're so bad. That was present so often in this episode.
Yeah.
They got to build the emotional tension. Potentially, this being the last time that they're all together.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the performances. So we get stage number 1 with Hyolyn bringing along her friend Lee with Waka Boom. What did you think about the prep work for this stage and what Hyolyn was reflecting on as she was putting together the songs, or as remixing it and then collabing with Youngji?
Yeah. I feel like whenever we see Hyolyn, she's always walking with something on toe, like a bag or something. Some just an observation. Anyways, well, apparently this is a song she wrote like 3 years ago. So it makes sense that all these songs kind of like represent the group really well. And the addition from Youngji, that's like what a feature, right? And I mean, I really like their prep segment because it feels like another show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really light. think it was a great way to start the show because it didn't feel like Hyolyn was super stressed about it. She was talking about, like you said, having the song for 3 years, just recomposing it, rearranging it, and trying to update it for the show. And then just hanging out with Youngji and then spitting bars in her studio. Great studio, by the way. I would love to have some situation like that for like a work
It's like her
environment.
house slash studio. Yeah.
It's incredible. It's like overlooking the city. And it's got this like really, I don't know how to describe it. It's like overlooking a city, but it feels very like
Like a neighborhood.
neighborhood, but like you feel very grounded, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just a beautiful sight, and then that's where she's doing work. Yeonji spits freaking bars, hot fire, and they're just vibing to the song in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not too much because I would imagine they don't want to show too much in the prep work, but I don't think Hyolyn struggled too much in this in these scenes. They did go right.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like Hyolyn she's like not phased at all going first. She's like, she called out Brave Girls kind of like in two different segments. Like, oh, okay, I'll make my performance forget all y'all. The confidence.
Yeah, definitely a pro and an experienced competition show participant. Right, she knows the ebbs and flows of it. She knows what to say to
Yeah.
build the attention and get the camera focused on her. Good on her. With the stage, the theme is very gold, very desert. It starts off with a cinematic of her on the desert looking for something, and it sweeps up gold. I guess as they described it in the last episode, very Arabian Nights, very Egyptian like sounds in the song. My one critique of the song that we know it's from 3 years ago, as she mentioned. It also sounds like she's using tropes from 3 years ago, and it's like, yeah, no, okay, this makes sense now. What did you think about the song and how she performed it on stage?
I think she performed it the way the song like gives off the vibe. I think so. I wrote down Beyonce vibes because it feels like it. Like when Beyonce did that. I forgot what the song was, but when she got all that people the same way she did, she got like an army of dancers around her, and the performance with the throne. It's kind of remind me of like Beyonce. Yeah, that's like the main thing that popped the first thing in my head.
I did not draw the connection, and now I cannot unsee it. So way to go, sir. Yeah, no, I totally feel the power and kind of the energy that she brought on stage. Just a very powerful performer. Everything from the choreography, where she has a ton of dancers. It's all in service to focus and highlight her, but they're also all like incredibly powerful and amazing in their own right. Right? There's a really nice synergy and balance between her using the dancers, or her having dancers on stage with her, but her still being this incredible force. The singing, characteristic belting in the song. I think a lot of belting in this song. She really goes for it.
She went really high.
Yeah, she went so hard. It almost feels like, I mean, it ebbs and flows, right? But it almost feels like she goes super hard all half the song. I didn't track the amount of times that she went to that high note, but it did feel like it was very present, right?
Like every other line's a high note.
Yeah, every other line's a high note. Every other line's a stop where she just to like focus in on the microphone. Boom, hit you with it. The outfits were great. A nice, great combination of white and gold, giving very evocative of sand. Very much the queen on the throne. But let's talk about our friend here, ENG.
Yeah. Yep.
Amazing introduction to the stage. I actually forgot that she was going to be on there halfway through the performance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was like really focused on the performance in Hyolyn. It was incredible, and I forgot. and then she pops up on the stage with the other groups. I'm like, oh, let's go! This is it. What did you think about Yeonji popping up hanging out, vibing with everyone, and then her delivery.
Pop right in front of Luna. She got that Jessie vibe, but with like twice the energy. And she killed the stage and just, I don't know, swag her way up to Hyolyn. And people's reaction was just, oh shit, we fucked up. We shouldn't make her go first.
I love the reaction of everyone else on stage. Sinvi just has this characteristic, like I love it, but I'm still holding it together. While was it Luna that was losing their mind? Like,
Yeah, she popped up right in front of him.
yeah, everyone on Luna like essentially fainted. Like, yes, this is very much them. I think Chu was the one they highlighted a couple times, and she just like has the Chu face, but it's just so exasperated, almost like a face of disgust, but disgust in how cool it is, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Right, and then Yeonji making it to the main stage. I loved it. The only performance that utilized the crowd in that way, because then it kind of forced the camera to show the entire arena, and then for me, I felt like it was more engrossing because now you get the whole entire geography of like how big the actual setup is, and then where the
Mm-hmm.
stages are placed and where that middle section's placed relative to everyone else, and it's just like, yeah, no, that's pretty cool. And then they ended together,
Yeah.
dancing.
That's
Um,
really nice.
what did you think about the dancing?
Well, we know Yoonjae is a great dancer. She, uh, I mean, what's to say? Like, she got the choreo down. She got the vibe of the song down. Yeah.
A lot of power poses from Hyolyn, and then there was the choreography section at the end with Yeonji. It's crazy to think that back in the day when Yeonji was doing the competition shows, I forget the titles of them, but she did a few of the rap shows. I think it was on Pretty Rap Stars. I'm
Uh,
not sure which one it was. She did
maybe.
a few, right? And she was just like a rapper, right? A really good rapper. And then she did Good Girl in 2020. And then we didn't really see dancing from her. But since she's collabed with a lot of big musicians,
Yeah.
with Soyeon in particular, we've seen a lot of dancing from her. It feels like she just took dancing classes and like is in there in the lab for like 6 hours a day learning to dance because she looks like a natural now.
Yeah, she dieted, I think, using dancing, and it just sticks. I think maybe.
Yeah, like just great combination where the
Yeah.
physical activity and just like I gotta get right so then I can move this way and just like good for her because she does also look like she lost weight in a healthy way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not like a dramatic like, oh my god, like who is she anymore.
Yeah.
Because yeah, she did lose weight, that's very clear if you've seen her back in the day to now, but it does feel like it's a natural progression through athleticism, which is this dancing, which is good for her. Any other thoughts on Waka Boom?
Nah, just a good first stage.
Yeah, great opener. A lot of power, a lot of energy. Um, Crowd pleasing, I think, is definitely the feel there. All right, let's move into WJSN, Cosmic Girls with Aura. I will let you start because I have a lot of feelings here. So, Reach, what do you think about Aura, the prep work for WJSN?
Well, XC, the composer, right? She said that the person that knows which one is the best is me, and she kind of like knows what part to give what member. So that's the advantage of that. And I'm not gonna lie, producer XC is pretty attractive. We all like it. And after all that, it's nice to see the members also give like a thank you surprise party for all the hard work. Yeah, and alcohol, of course.
I would like to just start with alcohol. If there was, if I ever needed any more of a reason to fall in love with XC, alcohol is more of the reason. No, but going back into the producer Xe side of things, really great compilation of just thoughts and ideas of why Xe feels like she has such a responsibility of a burden for the success of Uju Sonia. Right?
Mm.
He is incredibly musically talented as far as being a producer, understanding her members, but really cares for them. I think what was enlightening was the fact that she knew how to communicate to each one of her members differently. That kind of works best for them. With Bona, it was very like loving like a friend. With Dayang, it's like sarcastic. It's like, oh hey Yunjun. It's like, well, I called you that because like you're amazing like her now. It's like, well, that's kind of funny. And then um I think it was Subin when she was really pumping her up on the different parts that um were more of a experiment for her. Because I feel like Subin's story for this entire show is that she's trying to be more well known as one of the main vocalists for Uju Sonya.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was a really nice highlighting point where Xe was just like so elated that she went for that style that she gave her, right? There were a few other members. I think there was highlighted too. I think Yorm was there and Insu. There was a lot. They essentially went through all of them. But it
Yeah, they
was
did.
really cool to see all of those little like character moments and just her in the studio with members.
It was
Yeah.
literally. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Like it was literally like her method of like trying to. Cause I know they've been like in the business for a long time, but not everybody have that spotlight. Like always there's the most popular member always get the spotlight. But over here, actually is trying to like make everyone be the star and try to break out of that shell. Even because if you're a member that's not very popular, you tend to stay there, and so this is a great chance to do that.
Yeah, it's really reflective of how much the members and the team as a whole mean to one another, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure in most groups that's the case, but it's very rare that you actually get to see it, and you actually get to kind of low key address the lack of screen time for a lot of other members in other places. Not necessarily just Queendom, but just like I don't know, like side content. Sometimes there are definitely top members that just get all the edits. In this
Hmm.
case, they did at least a good enough job to have Xe be the focus of this story, while then also going on and interviewing all the members to talk about why it means so much to them. I thought that was just incredibly heartwarming. God, I'm
Yeah,
gonna cry. I'm gonna cry here. God, I can't keep it together, man. Um,
come on now, come on.
it's, I, you know this. I just I'm as soft as Xe is. So that is my life right now. I'm just the softest. All right.
Sure.
Let's get into the stage. So Aura, it's a very dark fantasy concept, very similar to the first two stages. What did you think about the song and the stage execution?
Well, we talked about the song last week, um, but the drones, they're using technologies that other groups are not. So I appreciate the drone work and with the Sola controlling them. And then it starts with that I don't know what that form, circular formation with all that arm choreo. That was pretty sick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forget the I don't know if there's a name for it, but it's essentially like the snake choreography where you stack up people behind you and then you make
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wave and
yeah,
flow. Yeah, that was an
yeah.
incredible visual front shot.
And also before that, like with all the back dancers, with all that, like, can you? I guess you can call it like a tutton, something like that. And yeah, that was pretty cool. But then afterwards, I think this performance kind of straightforward for me after that. It's just like it's a good stage, but nothing wows me as much, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll touch on that as well, kind of to start with a bit of a critique for the stage. I think it was the least, I guess, stage crafted of all of them. They really
Mm-hmm.
only had the bleachers at the end that was a different prop for the members to interact with. They did use the side stages, but not in a very not in a way that required it, right? Like if they didn't use the side stages, I don't think this performance would have changed very much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we would also talk about the elevator stage. Every
Oh
group
yeah, yeah,
used
yeah.
it. Sometimes when groups used it, I didn't really understand why. I would probably say for Cosmic Girls, this is one of those times where it's like it didn't really change the performance, right? It was kind of just used because it was there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but as far as the
That's a
things that,
shame.
yeah, as far as the things I loved about the stage, I think this was a great representation of Cosmic Girls being a high quality precision execution unit, right?
Uh-huh.
They, as far as singing, it was all on point. Everyone's parts were very highlighted. Everyone's parts were very well characterized. Like, you know which one was Dayoung, you know which one was Yeonjun. And it was cool to see Subin and Aletta at least having something right, because sometimes they get left behind. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and so you combine the singing with the execution of the choreography. I think maybe I'm biased, but I think this was the best choreographed stage of all of them,
Mm-hmm.
in
Okay.
the sense that it was just so tight. Like
Yeah, yeah.
there was nothing you could point to as far as like someone messing up or something not being performed correctly, because it was all about precision. It was all about lines, as the dancers would put it, and even using some different genres, like you said, tutting, a lot of different arm formations that are very similar to that. So I would
Mm-hmm.
say on the choreography sense, if you're just looking on the technical aspect, incredibly well done, well-oiled machine kind of. But again, it's what's the emotional impact of the performance afterwards. And if there's something missing, then for me, I think there was a little something missing in the sense that it was maybe a little too dark and a little detached emotionally. But I think the song is great. I love the song, performed amazing, and I think it's one of those safe number two picks, which I think is the case for a lot of people, right? It's like
I see, yeah.
really good stage. Let's just give it number two or three.
Yeah, it's odd because I was like, whoa, drones? And then arm? And then and then I keep watching because intro just wows me, right? And then yeah, I'm like, okay, it's good performance. Like, whoa, they're really sharp. The choreo is good, but then like at the end, I'm like, okay, it's good. Yeah, that's good. And then like yeah, like you said, there's no lingering feeling after that, which is a really good stage. It's just weird. I don't know what I'm feeling afterwards. Just I feel like there should be more in the directing for a final stage.
Yeah, a little something, a little emotional punch to keep the stage in your mind as far as like a very memorable
Mm.
stage. I thought it was interesting that they cut to the idols here and there for some of the stages. So with this one in particular, nobody's trying to like look, negatively, but when the stage isn't like the most when a stage like this is primarily about like focusing in on the details, you're going to catch people where all they're doing is focusing on the details, so it looks like they have a blank face, but I don't think they thought blankly of it. I think it was just like, I have to absorb everything. Where if you cut to the members for the Hyolyn stage, it was a party. So everyone
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just like dancing and like vibing. Maybe they missed details, but at the same time, that was the purpose of that stage. So interesting reactions in the moment, because you can't edit that out and you can't really hide those. But yeah, I don't think negative is the intent of those. I think it was just like there was a lot to focus on.
yeah, yeah. My face is exactly the same.
All right, let's move on now to Kepler with The Girls Can't Turn Me Down.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll
The
stop.
No, you're fine. Keep singing. Let's get you into Kepler. Number
No, no, my
10.
throat hurts. I'm sick. I'm sick. Stop.
Fair enough. The prep work was about the struggles of Kepler, being a new group, only having been put together and debuting in January. going against all of these seniors, all the history that the groups have. VIVIZ is G-Friend, so and that's part of their story. With Kepler, they really don't have a history, and kind of what that means as far as wanting to enjoy the experience, enjoy the ride, being respectful of their elders, but then also knowing, also wanting to win, but then having to kind of resign to the fact that we need to keep working. We need to just enjoy the ride and grow from this experience, and really just be thankful that we not only have each other, but now have all these friendships with the other groups. I think that's what they arrived at. What did you think about the cute little photo section with Chehan setting that up for the members?
I just one of the I like the prep pretty much doesn't really focus on the prep for the performance, but I guess like their journey, right? And it's kind of nice to see because everything digital now, so it's nice to see film. What do you call that? Film reels?
Yeah.
Photo reels. I don't know what you call those.
Film. Film.
Films. Yeah.
Yeah. Film.
I'm old. I should know this, but
no,
anyways, right. that's really nice. She went to like a print store and print them all, which is like what I do back in the day.
Well, the thing is now, like, you can do that, and then it digitizes it, so you have both the digital copies and like the physical ones. So like, you don't need the negatives anymore. Which back in the day, you needed to keep those negatives if you wanted those photos again. Sorry, I digress.
Yeah, back in the day, I would be back in a couple of days to pick up those photos. Anyways, and then they went to their, did they go to their practice room and read all those letters? And yeah, I'm not gonna go over. It's like one of those thank you letters. That was really nice to see, and even how even such a new group with such a short history, but they went through a lot, and you can totally feel it in that segment.
Yeah, a lot of thank you for being here. Really understanding the weight of the moment, because they are so young, but most young groups won't have this moment to learn from. I think they really appreciated that at the end. As hard as it was, considering it is a competition show and you're essentially being judged by the entire world. Now you're being told by the entire world that you are fifth and sixth repeatedly every week. As a 16-year-old, you are learning so much about the world and how crappy it is. So shout out to you for just being a good person.
I love her
at the end of it, because she seems like she has a good head on her shoulders, right? Like she's got it figured out.
Yeah, she does.
All the girls, but specifically her.
She felt like she's the most mature there.
The most mature 16-year-old I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
The stage, the song. This is a girl crush, heavy hitting song. I said this last week and I stand by it. I still like this better than Wadada, because this is like the character of Kepler. What did you think of it coming together on a stage?
This is not bad mouthing, but this is a much better stage than the second one. The opening, that fan out, I don't know what you call it, the fan out opening, and was amazing. And then Hikaru, no need to, I'm not gonna even touch that. Hikaru kills every stage, like, god damn, that girl. And what I really like about this part is the Dion and of course Hikaru duet, like in the other part of the stage, the one that's like in the middle. I thought that was really nice highlight of the performance. I really like the choreo. It's really, he matches the song well. I think he matches the vibe well. And can we talk about that chair part? Yo, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. This is an example of using a lot of using props and stagecraft, just the right amount where it's there, it's present, to kind of keep the stage moving, right?
Yeah.
To keep you engaged into different aspects of the stage and the performance. That chair sequence, holy smokes!
Chairs. Who thought that?
Yeah, well done. I don't know, but good on them. I want to touch on a point that you said about Hikaru. So if you followed Girls Planet, you know her. To me, when after the show, it was really surprising that she wasn't highlighted in Wadada. I was just like, she's one of your best performers, and you gave her a rap line that was like, you couldn't really tell if that was her or Diane. Right? If you're listening to the song, I'm just like, I don't know what separates Hikaru in Wadada, right? If you're a brand new like Kepler fan, right? In this show, I'm so happy that the producers or whoever decided to write the show said, hey, she's a really great character for television. Let's showcase her. And now everyone who's not a Kepler fan, who's maybe a Cosmic Girl fan or a LOONA fan, sees this girl and she knows that she is everything. Because she is an amazing performer. All of the facial expressions that also match the song perfectly well. I think she's a dance savant, to be honest. I think she can do anything. And the fact that she got that highlighting section with Diane, so they definitely are like the hard carries of like performance for the group. And then I like the second version, the second one of that in the performance where they do the trio, where it's Diane, Guru, and Shin shouting on the platforms, right? I think there's something there with that trio. I feel like that's a really strong dance line that they need to push in some way, at least moving forward as a group. Maybe not like as a unit, but like how do you maximize that for future comebacks? I feel like they have something there, right?
Yeah.
And then Chaehan is just a great singer. Right? I feel like she's always a great like center.
That bell at the end.
Yeah. And then I didn't mention this for the stagecraft, the fire at the beginning. That was kind of nice. That's a good touch.
And at the end too.
Yeah, a great like symmetry, right? Start
like flame in the foreground, and then they did their thing in the back. That was good.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. A lot of very visually eye-catching things on the stage, right? So I think if we're comparing to the other stages, those are elements that would stand out that other stages may not, right?
But for sure.
Yeah, but I do want to mention one person who I think has benefited greatly from the show, who is also a young person, Youngun. I think she's the second youngest. She has energy that is, I'm going to be the leader of a future group after Kepler energy.
Can't believe she's that young.
She's in high school. She got picked up by LOONA. Amazing.
That's true. But like when she's on the stage, it's just like, who are you?
Yeah. She's got it, man. Like it's one of those where it's like it's hard to put into words, but when you see it, it's part, charisma is always thrown out there. But I think the way that all the technical aspects are great. I think singing is actually is probably more of a strength for her.
Yeah.
So it's really about like how do we allow her to grow and get her focused in on more for future Kepler things. Or even not, if that doesn't happen with Kepler, again, she's the future leader of a group of whatever company she's at. I don't know where she's at, but yeah.
Wait, too early, man.
No, I'm calling it now. I think she should be a leader in the post Kepler group that she arrives in.
In 3 years, we'll check that.
Yeah, because if she's 17 now? Yeah, she'll be 20. Perfect.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean she already has it now, so it was just like.
Oh, and their comeback is coming soon anyway.
That poster has me thinking different things.
Another show.
We talk about it quickly. So we've kind of established that Kepler is really good at Gold Crush here in this show. Right? It feels like the new song is going to be a lighter song, a brighter song. Yeah, I don't know. Like we talked about this with other groups. It's like what's your character moving forward, and how do you iterate on that in small ways?
Are they experimenting? Maybe.
I don't know. That's a discussion for another time. But experimenting.
I guess we're taking the segue of the summer comeback. You know how like most groups tend to break concept when it comes to summer? Yeah, I think that's what they're doing here.
Okay. I can buy that like on the historical grounds of like what K-pop represents, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
at the same time, Kepler is 6 months old. Like they debuted in January.
Yeah, literally.
So yeah, man. All right. Well, anyways, with this song, with this performance, I think they performed it to the best of their abilities. A lot of great standouts from different members, but I would have to say it's a lot to overcome as far as the rest of the groups and the points.
Yeah.
Anything else
Good.
on Kepler?
No. I think we got it.
All right. We're gonna talk about the loves of my lives. VIVIZ, Red Sun, exclamation point. Yeah, we got the G-Friend girls. I'm gonna let you start again because I just have so many emotions.
I thought you have so much things to say.
I do, I really do, but I'm going to let you
Okay.
start. What did you think about Unha taking Umji and Sinbi to the restaurant where they used to eat at as G-Friend?
Yeah, I never tried monkfish. That's what they eat, so that's an interesting dish. I would love to try. Uh, yeah, that was really nice nostalgic thing to do. They also are we gonna talk about the restaurant first, and then we'll jump into the song?
Yeah, let's talk about the restaurant.
Okay. Well, it's just a nice. It's similar to what Kepler did when they say all that thank you, but this is like kind of like a nostalgia trip, and got them, emotional, especially in
Our favorite Unha.
and Shinbi, of course, take a picture of those or take a video of that. That's really funny.
Yeah, she really knows how to balance out the emotions of the group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shinbi is just so like oh, you're crying, haha.
Smile.
Yeah. No, really great reflective moment for the group, right? It got me really emotional seeing like the old footage of like baby Umji. I'm just like, oh my god, you're 16 in that picture. It really goes to show just like what G-Friend meant historically for K-pop, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of new K-pop fans don't know just like how prevalent and just how successful and how well liked this group was. And I don't think things like that happen anymore, where a group, captures a very specific type of Korean, Korean appeal that
Huh?
is also a little different because it has the wholesome Korean appeal that I don't know if that's ever going to be the same again. Does that make sense?
I don't understand this wholesome Korean appeal you're talking about.
Well, yeah, I think I phrased that incorrectly. Well, because K-pop trends tend to be cyclical. So, well, maybe I phrased that incorrectly. Well, let's put it this way: G-Friend appealed to K-pop in a different way that I feel like than a lot of groups. Is that at least a fair assessment?
Okay. Okay.
Right.
I mean, they appeal to all ages. Is that good?
That is probably where I was going with broad
Okay.
acceptance of people, right? Large demographic.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
what I was going for. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because in my head, I'm thinking like Sistar, which is like they're amazing, they're great, but they're very much like the summer queens on the kind of the sexier side of K-pop,
Yeah.
where it's
More
like
male fans, right?
male friend, yeah. Where G-Friend, it's they do something that is like you said, more appealing to everyone, across demographics, ages, and gender, right? Where it's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the little sisters that you just want the best for. They're just doing
The whole
really,
nation love them.
yeah, right. Okay, yeah, keep going because I'm going to lose everything. See, emotions very hard to think. Go.
Got it. Oh, and I got spam call. Hold up.
No problem.
God damn.
Well, let's take it.
Spam calls.
It's just one of those days, man. Well, let's take it into the prep work in the room.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The
You want to start or me?
I'll set it up because this was
Okay.
this
Okay.
is a great insight. So, Cindy, Umji, and Unha meet with their company, and the company has ideas. They show past performances on Kingdom and Queendom, and it's Stray Kids and it's G Idol, and then they're politely, respectfully, receiving the input. Then they show them the old G Friend song, and they said, "We want to do this." I got chills. I was just I'm so emotional right now. What did you think of that interaction and how they eventually landed on Red Sun?
Yeah, in that meeting, literally, like, honestly, the members wasn't listening to anything the production put out for them. They're like, no, we know what we want to do. This is the song that we've been begging to Source to put out a single, but been rejected for all these years. And this is the time to do it. And every members loved it. And it's perfect. You just have to update it to 22%. And like I said, it's one of my favorite song. And you know what? It's very different-ish type. And yeah, I mean, it's great job for keeping the song and remembering the song. So yeah.
Yeah, it just so many memories of what that style of G Friend music sounded like. Definitely updated for a stage. I mean, there's a lot of stage elements that I think a little bit more musical than the original version. But shout out to them for having for sticking by that song, right? And really saying like, we want to do this.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't believe we got rejected that many times. Even for B-side.
that's crazy. Maybe it was too fantastical and musical for like an album. They just couldn't find like a concept that was going to work.
But it's in line though with like everything else. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, their losses are gained in a lot of ways because now we get a stage for it. Crazy. So the rest of the prep work is the members in the dance studio with the team. Very fun and light. I think Unha was just so happy that she had this enormous screen. I'm just like, yes. Can you are the main character. Can we film you for like 3 hours? I would watch it.
You would.
And then they rotated the screen for Umji's fan cam. It's like, oh my god, imagine that enormous screen rotated. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun seeing them, collaborate and work together. I think they've had the most fun on the show, where it's like, yeah, they want to win, but I think they're just happy that they can do this with each other, and they also know that they're good. They don't need that extra sense of validation because they've done everything already in a lot of ways.
I can finally do the song. Yeah.
Get to the stage. So it's a fantasy Alice in Wonderland. The members start. They are in 3 dresses that are different colored. Wow, I don't remember the colors. But it's very evocative of just like being in a fantasy world, falling through the rabbit hole, and arriving here. What did you think about all of the theatrics of this song? And what kind of emotions did you feel with the song being paired so well with the stage performance?
Well, I kind of have a different opinion. You probably did. You're probably not kind of like. I feel like once you see like because this kind of theatric musical type of theme, right? For me personally, like if I see one, like I don't want to see another one. So I kind of like, oh, it's a musical. I was already like at that point when I hear it in the first like couple seconds, I'm like, I already have like an underwhelming tone personally. I'm like, oh no. But then I thought the theme was great. The Alice in Wonderland kind of like, from G Friend to VIVIZ, Alice moved from like her world to a Wonderland. Umbrella work in there is pretty nice. Like it represent like something getting thrown or something getting moved. That was really nice. And you know, there's just a weird feeling I get when I watch the performance. I couldn't pinpoint where, but like throughout the performance, like like images of like past G-Friend stages just pops in my head for some
The
reason.
dresses. The dresses, man.
And the sound too, like it just pops in like and I couldn't really, I guess, focus on the stage they're performing. That's just due to my own bias, but yeah, I don't wanna say any more bad things about it, but it's just it feels underwhelming to me. I know it's good. I know it's uh they did it well, but it's just like I said, it's like to my own bias preference. I feel like it's underwhelming. Yeah,
No, don't apologize. It's
yeah,
I'm glad that you at least made that connection with what you are looking for in a stage, and then kind of the things that would drive that feeling into a different direction.
yeah.
For me, I really just saw this as a great pairing with the song,
Mm-hmm.
because it was so theatrical. It was just so light and bubbly, and them really just like enjoying the stage together. Literal bubbles were used in the stage as well. And then I for me, this was the best stage crafted performance out of all of them. Right?
Wow.
They used so many different props. They used the set in full. I mean, they had guys on stilts, and then they had the teacups with the umbrellas, and then there were
Yeah.
people in there to rotate them and move them along. And then they had dancers in mask and brown face mask that was matching Umji's section in the song as far as musically and kind of the emotions that she was bringing into that performance. And then for me, Sunbi is the highlight. I love Anhatu and there she is, but the fact that she goes into like this very like bright, happy like smile that's also very believable. But
Mm.
because we know her character, that's the little opposite of who she is. But she sells it really well, right? And then there's there's just an airiness, like she's kind of floating on stage, like literally in the sense that the way that she takes her steps very lightly, right? Like that's
Uh-huh.
part of choreographing a stage performance is how do you move? Like what are your movements telling the audience, right? So for all the members, just the way that they were kind of floating between the different parts of the stage, very light steps, the flowing dress and the spins, just like very like visually appealing in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think all of those things came together really well for me, and the fact that like all the members, this song is sung at a higher note than the past songs, I would say, in the sense
Mm-hmm.
that Umji and Sinvi were singing in a higher key this entire time, and I'm just like, wow, oh, wow, this is so good. So yeah, I'm very happy that this was their stage, and I'm happy for them. They seemed like they didn't really care about the results at the end. They were just happy to support each other and then support everyone on.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Anything else on any
Uh,
negative things that you have? No
hey,
worries,
hey,
man.
hey.
Well, I mean, any critiques, I think, is the better word for that.
No, I think you got it. I think I'm just gonna have me repeating what you said, but it's just like I said, my own preference
Yeah, no worries, man.
couldn't get me
Um,
there. Yeah.
all right, let's get into Luna with Pose. You're the big orbit, so I will set
Mm-mm.
it up. Have you ever walked at 4 in the morning to the sunrise and reflected with your friends? Because that's the story here. How did you think about all the emotions getting into this final stage preparation?
Ah, Luna. Like they practiced like 5 a.m. and then hey guys, let's take a walk instead of like going home. Like the determination was there. They have to see the sunrise kind of to get their mood right. And I love them. I don't know what to say. I'm in orbit. And the practice section was another drill sergeant, Eve, came into play again. And it's interesting that she kind of, you know how like she's really strict with like what the movement and everything. But in this one, she's trying to incorporate like free parts. Like, hey, you pose here, but pose whatever you want. So that's really nice. She kind of didn't spoil too much, but uh, that was nice. That was nice. I just um, replayed that hiking part like 2 times because that's bring the feels, bring the feels.
Yeah, it was a nice contrast, right? Where you started off
Yeah.
with the prep as Eve leading everything again. She is incredible. God, I love her. Yeah, I, you can. My favorites for every group are very much in focus every time I talk about groups. I don't apologize for that. Eve is great. I think it also matched the song because it was kind of this hip hop, laid back freestyle type of song. That she wanted that to be incorporated within the choreography. So there's some very specific like hard hitting moments, but then like the pose, and then some of the transitions. Even Heejin was giving suggestions that let it be loose, because it's like you're freestyling, right? You're between different sections. So I think that played into the song really well. So pretty cool that she can kind of coach LOONA. The Heejin and Eve can coach LOONA with a lot of attention to that type of detail, right? Again, I think Eve and Heejin are dance savants. They're just kind of amazing. So I don't know, man. Just like there's so much talent, and I always just want to highlight that and kind of pay respects to the fact that like yes, they're talented, but also like you don't get there with hard work, and it definitely shows because a lot of the hard work is representative in the way you communicate and also how like it plays out eventually. Walking up the hill, adorable, really funny. They're all looking for the moon at first so they can pray to it. And then the sunrise came, and then they prayed to that, and then they lost their minds when they actually saw the sun. So good kids. All right. So with the stage, pose, right? So it's a lot of a fashion runway type of situation. Red carpet, right?
Yes, that's what I had.
Right. Well, yeah.
One more word.
All right, get into it. What? How else did you feel about the stage?
Paparazzi, like red carpet paparazzi. Dude, they got so much swag in here. And I got this Queendom feeling when I watch like Queendom feel type of performance when I watch them, and it was like I was taken aback because like I know LOONA is like kind of like the like that sharp dancer mimicking a boy group, but I always have that vibe. I always recognize them as a girl group, but in this performance, they exude that boy group vibe, and with all their swag, if I can say that, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Swag is definitely the word of the day here for the performance. Yeah, and you touch on a lot of things. I want to touch on the costume. Holy
yeah.
cow! All right, so
best dressed.
Yeah, I would say for this episode, best costumes, best outfits. The theme is denim, so it's definitely like clear that they're all going for that scheme, the denim pants. Everyone's tops are different. Everyone's tops are incredibly eye-catching and different. Let's start with Eve. Oversized jacket, but it's long and flowy, and then she's got the crop underneath. LOONA, a lot, bless them, they are all wearing like a version of a tank top or a sports bra. It's very aggressive.
Yeah,
it's a little surprising for Korean television, but they pulled it off well.
What the heck is Yojin wearing?
I don't know.
This magne needs to calm down.
Yeah, man. Kim Lip and her faux fur jacket, the crop jacket.
Yup.
Holy cow.
Yo.
At the end of the performance, Kim Lip and Eve both take off their jackets. So it's like you see the guns. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Got it.
The
Good.
bazookas.
um, yeah, it works really well with the stage, right? Because again, it's a very like aggressive hip hop type sound, and it's more of like a counterculture. I think is the story
Okay.
because like they're like on the red carpet when you're posing for paparazzis. Typically, you're a little fancier, right? Where it's like the clothes are like, nah, like we're gonna do our own thing. We're just gonna be kind of aggressive. It's like the counterculture fashion of that. I think that kind of worked in a very abstract way. Either that or I'm looking far into things in the wrong way, which I probably am.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
you're.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
that person. We'll get into the song. So, how do you feel like the song played into the performance?
Perfect. Not biased. Perfect performance. I really like that. Like they're good dancers. They fit the song. They hit every beat. Um, the dance break part. I had to watch that. I had to like watch that on the side like 10 more times because that's just amazing. Heejin do her thing. Eve do her thing. Everyone did. I just hope we had more Olivia and Vivi in there. But anyways, can we talk about Cherry's hat flip trick
Yes.
live on TV? That is impressive. Good job. Good job.
Um,
And I think they also used the entire stage really well. Like
just gonna say,
at the end they had all the members spread out evenly and do the choreo.
yeah.
So that was really nice. And I thought this is the best stage. Uh, not biased. Uh, and it reflects at the end when we talk about it.
Yeah, 100%. I have a question.
Go ahead.
When did Chori get so cool? She's so cool.
Sh look, if you want to see how good she danced, like one of the, she's really good at popping. If you go back to like the dance covers, you just just single her out, like the way she like pop and lock, like she is crazy good.
Yeah. I So this show, the magnificent part about this show is you learn about other groups that if you don't watch all of Luna's content, which there's a lot, you just wouldn't know certain numbers. I think Eve outside of the show probably still gets a lot of attention. Shu gets a lot of attention. I didn't know too much about Chori.
Mm,
I like the group's music. I listen to the music all the time. But now I know Chori. I would say she's probably one of my favorite kids on this group. Man, she again, it's all about like what stands out to me, and I think that she has a very like subtle power to her. The fact that she was in the dance group really like it's like okay, she can totally hang. She's there. Um, yeah, that's why like she really drew my attention on the stage. It's like what is happening?
yeah,
Why is she
she
so
is
cool?
fierce.
And who does the b boy move? Is that Kim Lip?
Yeah, Kim Lip did
Yeah, what? How? That
practice, practice, practice.
yeah, incredible. Way to go, Luna. Yeah, no, this is a good side of them because again, they've always been known as great dancers, but now you could see kind of a looser genre of dance. Because I would say like
Mhm.
butterfly, right? It's very precise, right? But it doesn't really allow too much room for freestyle or ad lib. This, it's like it's loose, it's dancey, it's jumpy, it's got the YG jump to it, um
Yeah,
but also it's still very Luna in the sense that the parts that they have to hit precisely, oh my goodness, they do. Yeah.
like yeah. At the end, the final pose, they waited until the song end, and they did the camera flash part, and they did their V. Ah, good stage. I
uh
think they also. No, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. this,
Oh,
this is orbit time. This is the orbit hour. Go for it.
oh, like in the beginning, the prep, they were kind of like going back to the previous episode, saying, I feel like all the other groups kind of like think too highly of us. And this is like after this performance, I feel like that Gladiator movie when the Maximus says, "Are you not entertained?" This is the this reminds me of like after they're done with the performance, they like this is what we do. This is the expectation that that you can have of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It definitely shows a different genre for them, right? And to me, I feel like my favorite groups of the entire show have been the ones that have done different stages almost every time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
I would say LOONA is definitely up there for me, and VIVIZ. They've done different genres almost every single stage.
Yeah, yeah.
I so much happiness from this show. That's where I land. Any other thoughts on your wonderful, wonderful girls? Wow, it was so hard to say. Wonderful girls, LOONA.
No, they killed it. They killed it.
All right, let's get into the last stage. So they won the previous week's challenge, the fantastic song. So they got to choose, and they chose to go last. Brave Girls with Whistle.
Yeah.
Their story from day one has been about reverse climbing. I feel like I read that word in the subtitles 30 times today, 30 times on this episode. Maybe not. I don't know. I just felt like they repeated that phrase so often. I get it. That's their story.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a lot of footage to show the fact that they were fifth and sixth. What did you think about like them saying, "Oh, maybe our boss wanted us to go sixth, be last"?
Very. I Yeah, I can see their boss say that because I feel like he likes to see the growth of a group, that journey instead of like you just pop at the top. Like he likes to see the journey, and I think breakers are going through that right now. Like, man, this group is going through a lot of things, man, and it. I think it turns out for the best for them, and I don't what more to say. I mean, their boss, you know, controversial, but I agree. I want to see them kind of like be on that tough journey to, I guess, to success. Yeah.
Yeah, no. A lot of the story is definitely about the ups and downs of Brave Girls, not just within the show, right, but then within the history of their group. They're definitely a smaller group that didn't have the same resources. Brave Bros being having some level of success in the past, and I think we were able to start their own company. But really just trying to give them resources and trying to give them a product to be successful. A lot of changes to the groups also, um, with just the number of members shrinking over the years. And then also just all of that reflected within the show, right? So always talking, well, not always, but like a repeated storyline of them going through the ups and downs of not knowing if they wanted to do music until Roll On happened. And then just coming onto the show, trying to level their expectations, understanding that they may not be the best known group to get all the votes, but then also still being competitive and saying, hey, we want to freaking be here and we want to win. So it does grate on someone's ego and anyone's ego that you come into a situation and you feel like you put on a great stage. I still think their first stage was probably one of the better stages of that round, and yet fifth place. And then when they covered Mask, I thought that was one of the better stages of that round, sixth place. So I think in addition to the fact that they've been through a lot personally, professionally, and then now having to go up against these other groups in competition, and then consistently, you know, seen, not seen by the audience. It's tough. It's heavy, right? I think what was probably played into a lot was the fact that the other groups felt a certain way for Brave Girls. I don't think necessarily that they looked down on them. I just think that they were unfamiliar with Brave Girls' career as a whole, right? I think Unji definitely is has
Mm-hmm.
friendships and relationships with a lot of idols, so she's known at least. But I mean, if you told me Yuna and Yoojung just didn't know as many idol friends, I would believe it. I mean, it's pretty. It wouldn't be a surprise, right? So I think ultimately, just like the lack of relationships prior to the show, probably made it feel really lonely for them. So the 5th and 6th place finishes were probably a lot heavier. And then
Uh-huh.
again, the story of like, hey, reverse climb, let's get there. Um, what did you think about them going to the beach? And the car. So they won a car. It,
Did was that? Go ahead. Sorry.
that felt like it was symbolic of like, let's just enjoy the ride. But I don't know. I'm looking into it. What did you think about just like, hey, here's a car for the day?
It's a ribbon. Was it a gift
I couldn't tell.
or just for a day?
Is it a gift?
Uh,
If it's a gift, makes sense. But at the same time, it's like,
I mean, it better be because they kind of saved the company.
true.
Anyways,
If that's from Brave Bros, yeah, yeah. Because I was thinking that's from Mnet.
oh, huh. I thought it was from Brave Bros. Well, anyway,
Yeah, if it's from Brave Bros,
now,
then they better
now,
give them a car. But if it's from Mnet, I wouldn't
now,
be surprised if it was.
now, I'm as confused as you are. I don't know, but they nevertheless they got the car top down. Let's go to the beach. Let's reshoot, ride, right? Another nostalgia trip. What can you say? Like this is just a bunch of nostalgia looking back trip for very fitting for the final episode. Um, and it perfectly set up for their stage.
Yeah, let's talk about their stage. What did you think about it? And we were at the beach. Got some beach outfits. Did you feel like you were at the beach? And are you ready for summertime?
Um, hold on, let me pull up my notes. Okay, first of all, I appreciate them dancing bare feet in this performance. You know, I heard it's tough to dance bare feet and on a stage. And criticism again. I feel like I've seen enough beach teams through Hyolyn that I feel like it's like the same kind of feeling when I see uh what's the name, VVZ's stage. I feel like I've seen it, you know, but I can appreciate everything because it was well done. But again, like the whole feeling of like another beach theme will kind of like overshadow like my whole like experience watching the performance. But yeah, I mean, go ahead, Chris. But I'm trying to gather what's the right thing to say.
Yeah, no worries. I think overall it's a very fun stage, right? I think they did want to lean heavily into the Summer Queens concept of everything. I think for the most part, this should be what they double down on as far as their concept, right? Maybe
Mm.
moving forward, they just have one release every year and it's in June. You know, would that be the worst thing for them? Maybe not. I
If
mean,
if it kills, if it if the whole nation loves it, then no.
yeah, right. So I think they could. There's definitely a spot for that for them. Considering just how successful they've been from an old song from Roland, and just what that meant for the company. As far as the performance goes, I really like the singing. I thought Eunji had a lot of
Yeah,
great
yeah.
parts. From what we've learned about Eunji on the show, she is like this incredible dancer. Probably can open up a dance studio instead of being on Brave Girls if that didn't happen for them in 2020. Um, so it was really
Uh-huh.
cool that we got to see that side of her performance ability, her idol talents, kind of be on the forefront. And I did think Yuna also had a lot of great singing parts. Um, yeah, and it wasn't just Min Young with like the power vocals, because it does feel like Min Young's very like the character of Brave Girls as far as the singing, the music style. So like
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's good, but I also think it's really cool that like there's variation now in this song in particular. That I can hear it Eunji. I can hear Yuna. Like okay, cool. Like there's more to it. So it kind of to me expands the character of Brave Girls musically.
Mm-hmm.
It adds to it, right? I think all those things played really well. So full disclosure, we recorded the Soju Talk Nation after show May recap yesterday.
Oh, I see.
I had Zondi and Nina on. We talked
Yeah.
about we talked about some stuff. We talked about Brave Girls and Queendom. And Nina, she worked in Forever 21 in the 2010s. I think what was her title that she mentioned? I think it was something along the lines of like styling and like
Styling.
products and stuff. Essentially, like she knows fashion products, right?
Okay.
And like trends. So I asked her, what is it about Brave Girls? And she goes, I really don't like their stylist. It was funny. It was good, but
yeah.
she explained it, and then I was like, okay, coming from a woman who worked in fashion, I
Yes.
understand now. So essentially, what she was saying, it's outdated. Where there's versions of outdated that you can do where it's like vintage, right? This is just like you pulled this out of a rack on 2010. Right? You went to 2010
Oof.
and is kind of she didn't say that, but this is like the idea of it, right?
Yeah.
And all of that doesn't help the fact that like they are older women, they're in their 30s, but then you're styling them like they were teenagers in 2010. So it's like there's this really weird like mix
Yeah.
feeling of like, oh, like but that outfit is from when they were teenagers. It doesn't work anymore, kind of thing.
I see. You know what? That make a lot of sense. Nina, thank you for that insight. It kind of like, I guess, fill in the blanks. Like, why? We talk about popularity about Brave Girl, how, why are they not getting it? And I think outdated. It's one of the main reasons because I feel like their staff is like the same staff they had like years ago, and then it's like old people trying. Okay, I'm gonna make fun of myself. It's like when old people trying to think of something new, but using their knowledge from the past.
I 100% understand that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I feel like that's what's befalling Brave Girls.
Yeah, I totally understand that. It's as if, and maybe they do consult with other people, they just don't listen to them. But it's as if they don't have people who are more in touch with current styles and fashions and trends in the room with them when they collaborate on these ideas, right? Or if they do, they don't consider them.
And also, I think the Brave sound, the Brave Bros, I think like he has a hard time kind of evolving his sound to the modern sound because if you listen to modern Brave sound songs, they tend to sound similar in a way. Like there's changes, but maybe there's no evolution to the next generation.
There's the characteristic 2010 saxophone.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that is
my
just
God. We figured it out.
We cracked the code.
Oh my God.
Brave Bros, the building is in a time capsule from 2010.
They need new interns.
They need new interns.
Yeah.
And I can also like rationalize that maybe a lot of the reason why they don't have a larger staff or at least new staff is they couldn't hire anyone, right? Because
Not the
small company, you got to keep it small. You got to keep the staff the same for the most part, or you lose staff over time. You know? Or
which is good. You can get the interns. They will say yes to most jobs. You remember that.
yeah.
We say yes to anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta listen to the interns then at that point. You gotta be like, hey interns, we
Yeah.
need your
Yeah.
input. Do this.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm hopeful that Brave Girls will still be popular and well known. They can still do a sound like this. I think this is the most updated version of Roland, like I said last week, that they've ever done. But
Yeah.
as far as like new music and direction, I feel like it just might be the same thing for the next year or so. I don't know how
So
much more evolution will happen unless they get a completely different production staff, or at least production consultants, or like hire people to be like, hey, do a song for us that's like out of our genre.
yeah, yeah. Or just they don't have to change genre. They can just evolve it.
Yeah.
Like no, I don't know a good example. I'm sorry, but hopefully Brave Bros freaking Mr. Kang Dong, I forget his name, Kang Dong Chol, I think his name.
Yeah.
Please hire more people, young, new people with new ideas.
Well, I told Nina they should hire her as the stylist.
Oh,
She's got it. She's got the self
that's
awareness.
that's one aspect they can fix. Yeah.
To close up on the performance, I think overall, just a fun, light end cap to the show. I don't think it did anything too extravagant. It wasn't like super like amazing and relative to the other stages. I think it was just a nice fun, like, here you go, like we're gonna end on a summer nights party. I think that was pretty cool and pretty light.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Great. Get into the epilogue. So they do an epilogue song
Yeah.
for Queendom. We've got Unha, Sola, Ijin, Yuna, Hyolyn, and Yeso joins them later. She wasn't there for the recording session. What do you?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just throw this in now. Hey Yun is there. She greets them.
Sunbeam.
Yeah, something. What are your emotions? How did you feel about them coming together, kind of reflecting on their time on the show?
Mnet is very, very sly, because they've been teasing this whole song throughout the episode. That melody when they show when it was like a sad or that melody, the ding, that's this song. I'm like, whoa! I thought it was some other song, so that's really nice. And what I lost my train of thought.
No, yeah. So it was interesting that the beat and the melody were already used throughout the show.
Okay.
And that the
Yeah,
members were just like, oh, we've heard this. We know where this was this entire time. We were going to sing a song with lyrics to this beat. A nice little realization for there.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Taeyeon came and visit, and she gave him like this really nice, I guess, an advice they can take, a lifelong advice. So that's really nice. Sad Yeso couldn't be there, but she already did her part like earlier. I think she did another time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really nice to get them all together. I wish Yeso was there. The part that really stood out to me was just how much love and reverence everyone had for Taeyeon. Because Hyolyn is the Sunvenim on the show for the groups. But as soon as Taeyeon was in the room, she goes, "Oh my god, sister, older sister, honey." It's just like,
Hey, and Annie, yeah.
oh wow, like they really do like think about her in a different light than everything else. And I think it was really um illuminating when Taeyeon kind of gave them
Really?
advice when she really talked to them as like
Mm.
peers, but then also someone who's been there. And I'm paraphrasing, but she gave them words of encouragement of she understands the pressure of being on a show like this, competition show, where now you're being judged by the entire world. Um, but don't lose sight of why you're here. Don't lose sight of why you want to be an idol or a musician or an artist, because she's seen people along the way lose their way and then quit and then lose who they are as people. Again, I'm paraphrasing, but it was just really a kind moment for Taeyeon, because I don't think she had that much interaction on the show with the rest of the groups.
Yeah, that's sad.
But it kind of goes to show that one, like the relationship between her and Hyolyn is real, it's strong, but then she's also self-aware of what's happening on the show, right? And I think that's a really great piece of wisdom she can impart on them, and especially
Yeah,
the younger members. I mean, Heejin,
yeah.
and I call you Ani. Ani now. It's like,
Like
yeah,
if you take a look at, like, I know SNSD is like a second generation, but I feel like she's first into like this type of like modern, not modern, like she's like the step into like the modern K-pop in terms of how do I say, in terms of reception, because first gen, how do I okay, let me explain this way. Like first gen K-pop fans are primarily Koreans, right? But SNSD, they started off Korean, but then there's like this branch when the global audience starts looking in. So I think like that experience, like she pretty much like first gen K-pop global kind of phenomenon, I guess you can call that. And all this advice is very crucial and very unique coming from her, because she's like the first group of people that kind of have that attention.
yeah, yeah. I want to build off that. So I also think it's um, the first gen in the internet age, right? Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
first gen K-pop was in the mid '90s, pre the internet. What does that mean
That's
as far
true.
as accessibility? Who saw the product, um, and the ability for it to be a global product? And then SNSD happens in 2000s. The internet happens, and yeah, it's a slow start at first. But 2010 happens, and YouTube. Everyone sees freaking the Girls'
Everything.
Generation song. G. I still watch it. I'm just like, yeah, I watched this in college. This is how I know K-pop.
I download this for 2 days.
on 50 was 56K? Is that what the phone line
Oh,
was?
that's amazing. That's like amazing.
Yeah. No, it's just, oh yeah, 2 days
uh,
for a video. That's crazy. Yeah. So again, it's like I think that is also very much in parallel to Taeyeon's journey, in the sense that this is how you interact with the audience. This is how media has evolved and changed. She's seen it all,
yeah,
and she's kind of imparting this wisdom on this generation of young people in the industry. It's like, yeah, no, the internet is just a very high information age, where it's like you
yeah,
just have everything at your fingertips, so it's going to just feel far more impactful and pressurized than it's ever felt before. But just hold strong, because again, like you just don't want that to erode who you are as a person. I think that was just a great message.
yeah, yeah. She literally came from like a career where she can see her fan in front of her to a tablet that she can just tap in her finger,
Yeah.
in her hand. Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, really great moment of reflection there. I thought that was very fitting for this episode, because again, it's the
Yeah,
end of the road for a lot of these for the show, but it's not the end of the road as far as the careers, because and we'll talk about this now. So there's a very clear difference between Queendom 1 and Queendom 2 that I want to get your opinion on, that I saw. It,
oh, okay.
it's the
Hope
fact
I can
that
answer this.
in Queendom 1, you had the newest group was G Idol, who was out for about a year, right? And then everyone else was kind of in the mid careers between
Yeah.
Mamamoo, and Oh My Girl. So those two, right? And then essentially you had the rest of the three on the way out with AOA, Lovelies, and Park Bom. Park Bom, kind of a very nebulous place. I don't think she will be part of like the larger Korean K-pop scope anymore, but definitely still present in music.
Yeah.
And then the results happened, and then this is where those careers are now with those groups from Queendom 1. The big difference for me in Queendom 2, all of these groups are essentially just starting, right? I think Hyolyn is probably the one that you can make a case of like, oh, she's just been there for like 15 years and she'll just keep going forever in perpetuity.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But VIVIZ, yes, they were G-Friend, but this is a closing of the book for them as G-Friend.
Yeah.
They want to now transition into this new part of their life. They're not even old people. What Umji's like 22, 23? I forgot how old she is. She's not old, right? But still, it's like, no, this is VIVIZ restarting and just now going into the rest of K-pop. And technically, they're rookies. And then you have Kepler, who is legitimately a rookie with a 16-year-old Yeso saying, hello, hi, I'm still in school. Hey, young one, I'll see you in class.
Yeah.
And then in a weird way, kind of a restart for Yujin, right? You know, now that she's no longer with CLC.
Yeah.
And then we have Uju Sonyo and LOONA, who I think are probably around the same, I guess, like seniority level. But now it's like, how do you translate the international success and popularity you have to like tangible success? And I feel like for Uju Sonyo here, you know, we get the results at the end. But for LOONA, I think it's just more momentum for them to really reach out to the international fans, because now it's like very clear that the international fans showed out for them.
Yeah.
I will quickly insert the yes, I will be seeing them in August in San Francisco. Hello, I am very happy.
Me too.
Right. And then with Brave Girls, yeah, no, again, a restart. They didn't think they were going to be in K-pop 2 years ago, and now they have to find a way to continue, because I think they have a lot of great momentum. I think people understand the story.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not over. They got to keep working. So for me, this Queendom 2 is all about closing the book on one part of life, but also knowing that the story continues. And this is the start of a new story for them at the end of this series. What are your thoughts about kind of being the new start for a lot of these groups after this show?
Yeah, I feel like that's true for most groups, but I can't talk to other groups because I feel like Uju Sonyo has always been like mid-high popularity, global and domestic. So like they have no problem. They have the fan base, especially after that drama. Bona kind of boost them up. But for LOONA, like they struggle domestically, but I think, and they, I don't have to say what their global success is, but this is not really a closing book for them. It's like it's opening a page in Korea's eyes that LOONA does exist and the world saw it, so you should too. Kind of deal.
That's really good. Yeah, that made me feel all warm and fuzzy.
Okay.
Let's get to the finale, the final results.
The results. Spicy or not?
Well, let's first start by saying they dragged this out for 30 minutes.
Seriously.
Hyolyn was dying because she didn't want to do it. She kept saying, and we'll come back in a minute. And
I was like, if I skip 10 minutes, will they still at this? And yeah, probably. I should have skipped 10 minutes. Yeah.
There was a moment in that entire section where Taeyeon like either drops her cue cards or just is completely lost in her cue cards, and they have to show a different camera. So it's not her like kind of reading on the spot, because it's like, I'm sure all of them say the same thing, like, cut to commercial. like leave a cliffhanger, and she's just like so irritated. I would be irritated. I'm just projecting. Sorry, Taeyana. That wasn't her.
Can I go home now, please?
Right? I want to be done. Yeah. The full results weren't posted. They got, it's live graphics, so they just made it really simple and easy for everyone, and they just had Sonyo and LOONA called up as the top 2 of the show. Cumulative points. Amazing.
Very odd.
Well, let me get your take on it. So what did you think about those 2 groups being at the end?
Surprised. First of all, I don't think LOONA's gonna make top 2. I thought they're gonna be like 3, if I'm being biased. 3 or 4, right? Because I just look at their points. Like, they don't have the points. They have to score a perfect. I was like, they really have to match the score perfect if they want to win first. And guess what? They did score a near perfect for their final performance. Full tally on the live show, 30,000. And we skipped the video ranking, did we? They stopped in the middle.
They didn't show it a few times, but it's just a lot of detail. You can go through it if you'd like.
Yeah, hold on, let me find that. Okay, like kind of like in between performances, I think between Kepler and VIVIZ, they announced like the video ranking, which is what's the video ranking? Like, I have no idea.
I want to say that's the total number of views throughout the entire show.
Yeah, but what on
YouTube.
Oh, you mean performance from last one?
It might be total, because that was really unclear. I wasn't so sure what they meant by that, because it was clear about the Spotify streams. They were really clear. It's like 1 stream a day from that playlist. Like, it had to be specifically from that playlist. So that made sense. Yep. But I wasn't sure about the video, and I was just assuming that was the cumulative views throughout the entire series.
Okay. Well, LOONA won first that one, and VIVIZ won second. So LOONA won first on video, first on the fan vote. That I think we kind of we know last time, right? Yeah, and then the performance. The only thing they didn't win is like the second, which is like the fan. I forget what the name was, but if you see the tally, it's like 30,000, and then it's like 9,000 something. If they won first on both categories, it would be 10,000. But like I said, they scored almost near perfect, and that surprises me. That really surprised me, and I was like, when they called their name and they jump up like what the heck? We did? Like, that was why too, because I was expecting to be Sonyo. I do expect them to be top 2, and either VIVIZ or Hyolyn, but LOONA.
Yeah, LOONA definitely is the strongest climber of the entire show, and I do think a lot of that had to do with orbits for sure.
100%.
But I think there's an underdog story that was kind of flew under the radar. It's the fact that they didn't get any points for round 1. So it felt like either the audience or people just in general like felt really bad for that, and just decided like, we're going to try to vote them as much as possible. And if they had just a good to great stage, like, it didn't have to be like the most amazing stage, but if it was like good enough, it's like, that's pretty good. And it's like, that was enough to push people in that sympathetic way, right? Because we saw what happened with the sympathetic vote on the Fantastic Song Challenge. Yes, Brave Girls, I'm glad you're still on the show, but my God.
Perfect.
Amazing, right? So it does make sense that people saw that, or people rationalize that, like the general audience rationalized, like, hey, like, let's try to give LOONA a chance to win, right? And they saw that as kind of a messed up situation at the beginning, thanks COVID. But so conversely with that, I think the most surprising result is the biggest drop off, which is raid boss Hyolyn.
Yeah.
killing it the first 4 or 5 weeks of this entire series, #1 everything, and then 4th.
Let me pull up that result.
Yeah, I was really
Crazy.
surprised because that stage was. I can imagine that stage in person is really, really good. I mean, that was the only stage that interacted with the fans in the crowd. I mean, Youngji, that was pretty fire. I don't really know how to rationalize it aside from voter fatigue and just like people wanted to vote for something else at a certain point.
You think so? Even the live face.
That's the thing. It's like I'm really confused as to why the live responded that way, but that's the only reason or rationale that I can kind of bring to myself. That.
Let me look at it.
Yeah.
Dude, she got last on the live. She got 1,818 points out of 30,000. That's crazy. Wow.
I mean, it could be like going first was actually detrimental.
But I thought that was a crazy pop-off stage, though.
I did. Yeah, it felt like a really great opening stage.
I guess that's what it is ultimately, just an opening stage. Wow.
Yeah, I think those are the other. That was the only one that really surprised me. On a happy note, I'm really happy that VIVIZ got 3rd. That just goes to show that I think on the objective, like technical aspects of a performance, people did see just like how good VIVIZ performed. I think that's a good spot for them. I think they were going to be unbothered if they lost, but that shows that people recognize, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Saw them as like, hey, this is they're good. This is G-Friend reincarnated, and we appreciate and want kind of to hold the space for them and allow them to be recognized. I don't know. I loved it. So I was really happy with that. Kepler 5th.
Not surprised, honestly, for me.
Again, happy to be there.
4th, 5th, and 6th. I'm probably not surprised about that.
Yeah, Brave Girls at 6 was kind of a bummer, but
it's a bummer, but yeah.
Yeah, I think they've kind of accepted it, right? And
yeah,
it didn't mean that they were being eliminated because that's the end of the show. So there are fewer stakes for being 6th, right? Like 6th and 5th and 4th essentially are all the same in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Third, you can make the argument that's like if they just got a few more votes, they could have gotten 2nd. But I think third for VIVIZ is a good spot for me. Right? Can we talk about
the result,
the sadness on the stage? All right. So again, they took 20 minutes just to call out freaking Uji Sonyo as the winner of Queendom. Do you want to go or should I go? Because I'm just gonna start crying. Okay, so Exy has a complete breakdown. That is like the most like gut-wrenching, emotional, like sad, happy cry I've ever seen in my entire life. Like it feels like the entire weight of the world was both placed on her shoulders and then removed. And I was just like, I started crying. I will just say that right now. Like, I was sitting back in my chair and it was just like, and then boom, hit me too. Then they go to everyone else and everyone else is balling. It was really fitting that Bona was the one that took the microphone first, because the story in the show and for Uji Sonyo is that she is the rock. She is the support for Exy. She's the true homie, right?
The VP.
The VP. She was crying, but she held it together and she was able to get her message across. Then they moved the mic along. I think it's Yorm who's next. Crying baby. Oh my God. That was great. Amazing. And then they give it to Dayang. What is happening? I don't understand like how she's both like sad and an anime character. What? And then Letta talks. Thank you. Good to see you. I really like that you're here. Please talk more. Please, camera, show her. Subin talks. Subin, I think, is the most put together out of all of them.
She is.
Right. And then they get to Sola. Did Sola talk? I can't remember if she talked. She did, right? Because she was in.
I'm pretty sure everybody did. Everybody did.
Yeah, she was in the white dress. She had a moment.
My favorite though.
Okay, so we gotta set this up. So she is bawling. She is crying. In the back, do you see who runs up to be there for her? It's Shinbi. And she's just there, just like, you did it, best friend. When I saw that and then I watched it again, I want to cry right now. It's like, it's just like everything to me, because VIVIZ means a lot to me. So it's just like Sinvi and that friendship, and that they've been best friends since they were like children, and just like supporting her in a way for when she finally gets the microphone. Unsua goes into it. So Unsua, take it away. What do you think? How'd she do?
I like her final was so adorable. She tried to hold back her tears, but she couldn't. And that was just gold. I really like, you can see the emotion and what this means to her. And going back to Exie, I don't think she said a word. Did she? She just bawled like.
We'll get to Exie.
Go ahead.
Finish up on Ensa.
Oh, to put on the thing you said about what this means to Exie, like, I feel like if there's one thing in the world that Exie wanted at this moment in her life, it's winning Queendom, and she did it, and that's like, that to me, I feels like that she went through a lot of things that she couldn't accomplish, right? And then finally having things going her way, like, broke her down, in a happily joyous moments like this. So that's really nice.
Real quick, Unsu thanked everyone that worked with them. That was really touching. Everyone from the producers, costume, makeup, choreographers, all the managers that hung out with him during all the sleepless nights, 24/7, trying to practice and work on the songs and stages. That was really meaningful. I got emotional. For Exie, this meant everything to her. It shows. I'm gonna start crying. I can't talk about it. I understand. She
let it out, Chris. Let it out.
She couldn't get words out, man. She was crying the entire time, and then when it finally came to her, it made sense that she, got it together, and was just really appreciative for the experience, because she's been in music for a long time.
Long time, yeah.
I mean, episode 1, they cut to her on was it Unpretty Rap Stars? Right?
Yeah, the first time she ever like shown to the world.
Yeah, and that was the OG one with Hyolyn's like what, 25?
Oh wow. Look at that connection. Hyolyn was there.
Yeah, that was the story for episode 1. They were a Starship, so they knew each other, and then they were each other's support. And it was just like, Exie's been in the game for a long time, and then she just has like so much musical ability that, for whatever reason, it's just very hard, right? She can rap, she can sing, she produces, she can dance, she does everything. But K-pop is a tough business, man. And sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes just don't have the ability to be as successful. Although Cosmic Girls, I think it has shown that China is a ride or die for Cosmic Girls, but still, on a human level, I think it's just so meaningful to her. And the fact that she did it for her members, like that was the story for her the entire time.
Oh yeah, that's just so meaningful. Like, if you see her with Sonya's first win ever, like, she cried the same way. So
but that's why she's mine.
This means a lot, yeah.
Her and I have the same. I'm barely holding it together right now. And then as they passed the microphone off, thank God Yeonjun was able to speak, because she didn't, and I was like, oh my God, she's not going to be able to speak, and she thanked Wooju's. So thank you. My God, thank you for getting the microphone.
Ujangs. You are now officially an Ujang.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was great. She kept it together too, so she was the other one that was not like dying. All right,
Yeah.
so I will give this to you now, sir. Speak on the behalf of Luna and how incredibly grateful they were for being there because they were very nice. They're very kind.
It's like the best scenario for them because they won like the last the finale for God's sake in the manner that they did, and like at the end they just sit there. Yeah, we did our best. Like we're good. We can go home and be happy because none of them expect to go up to that top two. And when it got called, like Yojin immediately like burst crying, and then not and I was like, I wasn't emotional because I was more surprised. Like I was like, what's going on? I need to see the points. I need to see the points. And it really like it really bothers me. Like I really want to see this point. Like they didn't post it like the next day, the entire tally. So and I was so proud of them for doing the best that they could in the last stage and finish the way they did after a disastrous beginning. Yeah, I,
Let
I'm
it
proud of
out.
them.
Let it out. You are
They
crying too. You
no, I'm not.
see?
I'm not. You can't see me. You can't see me.
Ha ha ha. You are sad.
But
No, it was a great
yeah,
experience for them. I would say it, I think I mentioned this before, but it feels like Luna has just been around for a decade, but they haven't. 2018, right? Officially debuted 2018. Because of all of like the prep work and the history of Luna. So I think
2018, 4 years.
yeah, but was it 2 years of pre Luna stuff? Right? It was the person of the month,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then it was the units.
Solos, units,
Yeah.
solo units, like that.
Yeah, so 2 years of that. So it does feel like they've been around for forever, but really all these kids are like in their early 20s. So it's like, yeah, they got a long way to go, which is good because this is a lot of momentum moving into the rest of the career. Like you said earlier, this is, hey, Korea, we're great. Now you know we're great. And everyone's like, yeah, you guys are great. Cool. We'll buy your albums and go to your shows because that is how they will survive. Um,
I'm going.
in the States and internationally, they sold out immediately. I'll quickly go over my ticketing experience. The website is from the venue. The venue regularly does big shows, so
Mhm.
it flows very easily. It's very quick. Um, it's a general admission seating for everything, so I didn't have an assigned seat. So as soon as I jumped in, I tried for VIP. It said it was sold out. I tried again. It was said it was sold out. I tried a third time. And I was like, okay, it's a minute in. I need to just get a ticket. So I got general admission tier 1, which is the cheapest. Checked out, got it. No
Wow,
problem. Easy.
my God.
And then I refreshed at 8:05, sold out. 8:05 a.m. in the morning because Korean Standard Time, 12 a.m. Yes, that was the situation. Thank God the venue has its own ticketing site. It's all going to be general admission, but I do have to get
No
there
mind.
maybe 3 hours early. But yeah, no, that was it. So, like I said, that is a reflection of the popularity of Luna everywhere else in the world. Please let this be them moving forward in Korea because we'd love to see it. How was your ticketing experience?
Well, they're having at the Wiltern. Now the Wiltern have its own also website, but not for this event. So we have to go to either Access or Ticketmaster, which redirect you to Live Nation. And I'm like, so I came in, queued. I got like 200 something space. I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. I came in. I already have a strategy, right? I'm gonna get floor, right? If I can't get floor 3 times, I'm going to the because they have the way Wiltern is floor on the bottom and then they have like a balcony. I'm trying to get as far front in the balcony as possible. And to my dismay, first one, I got floor. I went to pay, and guess what? Someone took it. Second one, same thing. The When I try the third one, it starts thinning out, right? The list starts thinning out. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna get it because I'm gonna steal it. So I went straight to the first row. I didn't even look. I just clicked the area, and I got the second row of like the first bucket. That was stressful. And after I go through the ticketing, I went back to see again what's available. Yeah, it's all gone.
Yeah, it was a wild ride for everyone on Friday, North America.
Well,
Wow.
at least my legs won't be tired.
Yeah.
I get a nice bird eye view.
No, I feel like balcony is a really good play if you want to just see and experience everything. Yeah, no, with LOONA getting second place, a lot of heartfelt messages throughout the end there. Eve, is Eve just the leader? I swear, like she's they called her captain, so I just assume now she's the leader.
She's the practice leader. Hazel is like if they go somewhere, like she's like the leader.
Yeah,
I think Kim Lip is like the lead. Like they toss it to her if she wants to talk. If there's something to talk about. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I see that too. Yeah, it's
Like
just
Hazel is the leader, like in behind
mm,
all that behind the scenes. Yeah, but she's the officially quote quote leader of the OD12.
it's good because I think they have a really good distribution of responsibilities. Is how it played out on the show. So yeah, no, a lot of really heartfelt messages. A lot of congratulations to Uju Sonyo. Great respect. I loved it all. Kind of closing thoughts on everything as we tie it all together. The biggest thing I took away from this entire show, and it showed on that stage, the end, is relationships. I think they all built such strong relationships with each other. Um,
Oh,
it was just
yeah.
so heartwarming. The one that I took notice the most from the LOONA side when it was all done, confetti was falling. It was Chori turning around to her older sister Unji. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, they are best friends. It's like, holy crap. And then you just saw all the different like members disperse and just talk to each other and everything. Unsu and Hyolyn have a connection. That energy makes sense. 100% sense. Any moments on that final farewell that really stood out to you?
I wish I was there. Um, I I don't remember the the whole walk off at the end, greeting the fans. I don't remember what happened. I think I was just
Blacked out.
I was pretty much I was sitting back in my chair like this and just watched the thing just goes by, literally, because we did it. We're here. But yeah, that was fun. I really liked though. After everything was done, like every group like did a group hug and did their chant
That
at
was
the
really
end.
nice.
That was really nice. Yeah.
A great moment for everyone. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
really nice end to a long journey, a long series of groups that we all like to varying degrees and now love even more. So yeah, one quick note that plays into your FOMO. Can I be in front row when Subin walks by? Because apparently she'll just take everyone's phone and record her face and everyone's
Yep.
face.
Yep.
Subin is an MVP for the fans. Thank you, Subin. You are
That's
doing God's work.
that's my goal in life, to get someone to take my phone and do that.
I wonder if I should shoot my shot and put a note that says enter number here.
What
Put a
you
note.
got floor, right? You got floor, right? For
Oh,
Luna?
well, Luna's general. Everything's general. So
So it's different
you
for
just
everybody.
have, yeah, that's the only venue that's doing that. So you literally have to be there like 5 hours before maybe. But the thing is,
Shit.
VIP is mixed in there. I don't know how the VIP is gonna work. Some places have it
I
where
bel-
it's just like throw you all in the same line. It's like, well, cool.
Usually VIP have their own section in front of the GA.
Yeah, yeah. Like they tell people it's like if you're VIP, just move up to the front of the line, and then GA step back.
Did you get the VIP?
Not.
You can throw your phone. No, no.
Yeah. Well, if it's general, well, the thing is, if VIP is still only like, I don't know, 10%, 15% of the crowd, and it's open, I just need to like slide in.
Let's just hope they don't have a barricade.
Yeah. Yeah. I just
They did that.
Yeah.
On like some theaters do that. They barricade like
Yeah.
when I went to Dreamcatcher, they barricade the VIP from like everyone else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I get to see LOONA, so that great. That's great. Hopefully, I can just shoot my shot and say, "Hey, I love you. Marry me." The
To who?
Eve specifically. Eve. All right. Oh, that does it for everything, man. 10 weeks, crazy. Any
Wow.
closing thoughts you have on this amazing ride, amazing journey of Queendom 2?
Not much, man. Emotionally spent from that last episode. It's really nice. Even with all the criticism we had about the show, I feel like that last episode kind of erased everything. I don't know. That's bad. That's Mnet. You sly you. You just make one good episode and make everyone forget about all your horrible doings. But we are what we are. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. This is an incredible time recording all these episodes with you, sir.
Yeah.
It's really given me a great routine throughout the week. Nice little structure for my own life. I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. I don't know what I'm going to fill up the time with, to be honest, because I love this show. I've come away loving all of the groups, all the performers. Hyolyn, have a deeper respect for her than I've ever had.
And that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just really love what the show eventually landed on, as far as like the emotional stakes and the beats that it represented, right? Whatever you think of Mnet as a company, they produced something that made you emotionally care about these people, right? It's about the real people in these groups and the musicians behind it, right? So I think that was still a net positive in just how we consume K-pop and the K-pop entertainment business.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. Ending credits. All right, let's sign out for the last time, I guess. Man, how sad.
All right.
Sad, but tears of joy. Tears of joy. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Soju Sessions on the Soju Talk Nation podcast feed. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts, and continue the conversation on the Soju Talk K-pop podcast Discord. For the last time on Queendom 2. For Reach, I'm Crispy, and this has been the Soju Sessions.